10 behaviors that scare women off. So in this dating advice video, I'm going to go into the 10 behaviors that will put women off you. So the first behavior that will put a woman off you and will scare her away is when you treat her like your girlfriend when you're not yet exclusive. So basically when you start acting and behaving in a way that you're in a relationship when you're not yet in that relationship. So if it's unclear, like this is the best way to tell basically, if it's not clear that you're in a relationship, then you're not in a relationship and you shouldn't be acting and behaving in a way that is displaying that you're treating her like your girlfriend. And the reason why this kind of behavior scares women off is because, most of the time when you start dating someone, they're not that highly attracted to you just yet. They're not in love with you just yet. Love is something that happens slowly over time after, through dating each other. You go on a few dates, and after you've been on those few dates, you start to see each other more and more. And then gradually you end up in that relationship. But if you're acting in a way that you're in love with her, or you're treating her like your girlfriend, even though you've only been on one date or only two dates, or perhaps you've only just been talking, you only just met, you've only just started talking to each other, then this is going to scare women away from you because they're not there yet emotionally. They're not at that level yet. And you have to basically match and mirror their level, right? If they're not in love with you, then you can't be saying things to them like, I'm in love with you and things like that. You have to wait for their feelings to develop as well. Now, it may be the case that you really are totally in love with them and you really, really like them, but you need to back off. If you want that relationship to grow, you can't force them to start feeling things quicker than at the same pace that what you are. It's just not realistic. So don't treat them like your girlfriend when it's clear that you're not exclusive yet and you're not in a relationship yet. So the second behavior that will scare women off you is a really obvious one, and that is stalking. Now, this is an experience that I went through. I've had a stalker, and basically what happened here, I'll give you an example, was they were in the same class as me at university, and I told them that I like to go swimming. This was before I knew basically how into me he was. And I used to tell him that, oh yeah, I like to go swimming, and I told him where I would like to go swimming because he was kind of living in the same area as me. And then when that happened, when I told him that that was where I went swimming, he then started to show up at the times that I started to go swimming, and it kind of just scared me a little bit because he was now showing up to a place where I was. Even though I wasn't interested in him and I didn't want to be with him. He had asked me out and I'd said no, and yet he was just around me all the time and finding ways to be around me. There was another couple of instances where this happened as well, and it really did worry me. And you can't behave this way with women. This is kind of like an obvious thing. Most guys, most girls who are interested in women know this kind of thing. This is basic stuff, but it is, sometimes you just don't realize that you're doing it, and it can scare women off you. Even if you've got the best intentions and you're not meaning to scare her, or you're not meaning to put her off you, acting in this way can do that. So it's best to avoid that. If you know where she is going to be at a certain time because she's told you, don't just show up. Obviously sometimes these things can't be avoided. Obviously you can't help but be around her if you go to school together. You're going to be in the same place. And it's also the same kind of thing if you work together. You're not going to be in the same place. But if she tells you about something that she likes to do on the weekends when she's not at work or at school where you know her, don't just show up there uninvited and unannounced just because you know that she's going to be there. This is basic stuff, but avoid doing any kind of behavior like this because it's just not right. So another behavior that can scare women off and put them off you is if you're being inauthentic. So the thing is if you're trying to be something that you're not, people can usually tell. Because you're kind of acting awkward, you're not acting naturally. So it's best if you are around a girl that you really like and you're on a date with a girl, the best thing for you to do is to just be yourself, to be authentic. Because if you're being inauthentic, you're going to be acting unnatural and you're going to come across as a bit strange because you're not being yourself. Something is off. So always try to be yourself. do and say things and dress in ways that you feel comfortable doing, because if you're not and you're being inauthentic, they're going to be able to tell, they're going to be able to tell your inauthenticity, and they're going to sense that something is off. So always be authentic, always be you, and don't try to be something that you're not. So another behavior that can scare women off is if you are contacting her way too much. And basically the best way to kind of tell if you're doing this is to, grab your phone and kind of look at the correspondence that you've been having with them. Who is sending more messages? Is it you or is it her? Who's sending the longer messages? Is it you or is it her? Who's sending, more messages more frequently? Is it you or is it her? And if it's you, then you are doing way too much, and basically you just need to start matching and mirroring her behavior. So if she only sends you one message a day, then you only send her one message a day. If she only sends you one sentence in a message, then you also send one message. You have to match and mirror what they're doing. And that also means, if she starts sending you more messages, then you can start sending her more messages. It sort of works like that. So don't pursue her too much. Don't chit chat for ages over, Messenger and things like that. It's best to get to know people in person on a date. So if you really, really like a girl, just ask her out. That's the best way to tell if a girl likes you, basically. If you ask her out, she'll say yes. So if she says yes to going out with you, get to know each other on the date. Don't message too much, because if you message too much, this can often lead to miscommunication, and this makes things quite boring if you keep on doing it and you never meet up. You have to be bold, be brave, and ask her out. Another behavior that can scare women off and put them off you and make them not want to date you is if you are putting her on a pedestal. So don't treat the girls you like as if they're goddesses, as if they're princesses, because women are just as flawed as men, or whatever you may be. Perhaps you're a lesbian watching this. Women have just as many flaws as what you do. They are not perfect beings. They may seem perfect, they may look perfect. You may meet a girl and you think that she looks 10 out of 10, but I can guarantee it, she has some flaws. There's something there in her personality or in some kind of way that is going to be a flaw. No one is perfect. So don't treat her like a celebrity, don't put her on a pedestal, don't treat her like a princess. Just treat her like a regular human being. Don't treat her like some perfect thing that you are undeserving of, because you are deserving of her and you have to act like you deserve her. If you treat her like a princess or a deity or a celebrity, you are going to be behaving in a way that makes her appear more better than you. And if you want someone to be attracted to you, if you want someone to want to date you, then you have to treat her like an equal. You have to treat her like a regular person, because that's exactly what she is. And another reason why this is a bad thing to do is because that girl knows that if you treat her like a celebrity, if you treat her like a princess, if you treat her like a deity, she's never going to be able to live up to your expectations of her, because your expectations are too high. If you're treating a regular girl like a princess, she cannot live up to that expectation. So you just treat her like the regular human being that she is. It doesn't mean that you treat her badly and you treat her like dirt. It just means that you're respectful to her, but you don't treat her way too good than what she actually deserves. Just treat her like a regular human being, because that's exactly what she is. Another behavior that can scare women off you and make them not want to date you is if you're pushing for a relationship when she's not ready for a relationship. So my best method is to just wait for her to bring up the topic of a relationship. Don't be the one to bring it up. Let her be the one to bring it up, because then you know for sure that she wants a relationship. If you're the one that's always saying, will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my girlfriend? Where is this going? Are we in a relationship now? If you keep on saying things like that, you are rushing things and you're not going at her pace. And if you're not going at her pace and the way that she's developing romantically towards you, she is going to need to back off and want space from you. And you don't want that kind of message. You don't want a girl send you a message saying, I need space, or I'm not sure where I am at this time, or I'm not looking for a relationship. Because if they do send you a message like that, it probably means that you're coming on too strong and you're pushing for a relationship too soon, and they can kind of tell that this is where this is going. So you need to basically back way off and go at her pace. Wait for her to bring it up. Wait for her to say like, "Oh, what are we?" and those kinds of questions. And then, you can say to her, "Well, what would you like?" And if she says, "Oh, I would like to be in a relationship with you. I'd like to be exclusive with you," then if when she says, "I want to be your girl," that's how you know it's time that the relationship has developed and you can enter a relationship with her. I highly recommend that you watch this video on I rush things and I fall in love too fast if you feel like this is a problem that you have had and are still experiencing. So another behavior, the 7th behavior, is if you're still pursuing after she has told you that she's not interested and after she has put you in friend zone. So if you keep on pursuing a woman after she has said that she's not interested, this is going to make her be put off by you even further. So when a girl says no to you, when a girl says she's not interested, it's best to just leave those girls alone and move on and find someone new. Because if she said no, you have to believe her. You have to believe that that's exactly what she feels and what she thinks. If she doesn't like you, then there's not really much you can do apart from back off. Now, it might be the case down the future she may change her mind and she may reach out to you. But when a girl rejects you, when a girl says no, when a girl puts you in friend zone, it's best not to hang about. It's best to just leave those girls alone and find the girls that are interested in you, that do say yes. Because if you keep on pursuing, it is going to freak her out and she's not going to like it, especially if she said no. Always go back to the rule. No means no. So the next behavior that can scare women off and make them not want to date you is if you are acting entitled. If you are, acting entitled as if, that you deserve a date from her or a relationship. No woman owes you a date. No woman owes you a relationship. And it's the same for any girls watching. No guy owes you a relationship. No guy owes you a date. Don't be entitled. It's really, really unattractive. I remember once I have a friend and she was, dating various people and she ended up in a relationship and she had to let down some other people that she had been dating once she found the person that she did really like. And one of these guys sent her a really horrible message basically saying that she treated him really badly and she shouldn't have, even spoken to him if she was talking to other guys and things like that. But the thing is that when you're dating, most of the time, most of the people that you're talking to on these dating apps are talking to other people, are going on dates with other people. It's very rare that you're going to find just one person on a dating app that is only going to be dating you and only be talking to you. There were multiple people that I was talking to when I met my wife on a dating app. There were people that I was dating and talking to and stuff. And it was the same for her. She was dating and talking to other people. So don't be entitled. Just have some humility. No one owes you anything. No one owes you a date, a relationship. And to be honest, sometimes they don't even owe you an explanation. Just allow people to come and go as they please in a way. You don't want to, be angry or butthurt or pushy with people that you don't really know that well anyway because you're only dating them. So another behavior that can scare women off and make them not want to date you is if you're indecisive and you're not confident. And the reason why she wants someone who is more decisive and confident, at least more decisive and confident than what she is because, women instinctively have, fears inside of them that they will not be protected. Women like to feel safe and comfortable. And if they're on a date with someone who is indecisive and unconfident, and she is more confident and more decisive than what they are, it's going to put them off because they want someone who is confident, who is decisive. Now, that's not always the case, but generally, most women want someone who is more confident and more decisive than what she is. For example, my wife, she, takes, ages to just pick an outfit. Whereas for me, it takes me like roughly under 15 minutes to get ready to go out. Some people are just more indecisive than others. And typically, the more feminine person in the partnership, so in your case, it will probably be the woman, is going to be more indecisive. So you have to, kind of make the plans. Don't just throw basically everything back in her lap when she, don't just, like, for example, you say, "Oh, what would you like to do tonight?" And she goes, "Oh, I don't know, what would you like to do tonight?" And then basically you just keep on having that same conversation. It just keeps on going round and round where you keep on going and keep on saying to each other, What would you like to do tonight? Oh, I don't know. What, it just carries on like that. It's like an endless loop. Be decisive, make a decision. She will love you for it. Most of the time, she will just go along with what you say. So if you say to her, oh, let's go to this restaurant tonight, she'll be like, okay, let's go. If she doesn't want to do that, she will bring up an alternative. But most of the time, she'll be just happy to go along with the plans that you've made. So be decisive, be more confident. Be the one that, if you're afraid of asking girls out, be the one to do that. Ask her out. Don't wait for girls to come to you, because most girls are indecisive, are unsure. So you be the one that's more bold, that's more brave. It just makes sense that you should be more decisive than what she is, more confident than what she is, because, women tend to be a lot more indecisive. It just makes sense. And the last behavior, the 10th behavior that can scare women off and put them off you, is just pure incompatibility. Now, it might not be anything that you've done. It might not be anything that you've said. You might not just be her type. And that's okay, because we all have preferences. We all can't really help who we're attracted to. There's that David D'Angelo quote, which is, he's another dating coach. And basically he says attraction isn't a choice. And basically that all that means is that we can't pick and choose who we are attracted to. So you might be really attracted to someone, but she might not be really attracted to you. Just like a girl might come up to you and be really attracted to you, and you might not be very attracted to her. I'm sure you've not been attracted to every single woman that you've ever seen. And it's the same for women. They're not attracted to every single guy that they see. It's just simple logic. So just because someone isn't attracted to you doesn't mean that you can't find someone else who is attracted to you. And, you shouldn't expect just because you're really attracted to them that they should be really attracted to you as well. Because sometimes it's rarely the case that they are. All you have to do is just see it as a simple incompatibility issue. And therefore, there's no reason for you to take the rejection personally if you do ask a girl out and she says no, or she stops wanting to date you. It might not be because of you. It might be just simply because they just don't think that you are compatible with them. If you'd like coaching with me and you'd like help with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.